Dokes, and he's fighting for the Continental Americas title against Randal Tex Cobb. Now, Dokes weighed in at 16 stone 3.5. Cobb from Orange, Texas, weighed 16 stone 10 1/4. Fair bit of malice involved, and Reg Gutteridge was at the ringside.
So there's the familiar head-to-head stuff. Referee Richard Steele, local. These fellas have fought before, by the way. And Dokes won on points, but one of the judges gave Cobb a draw in that fight. So the 3 compulsory knockdowns, and it's over. I don't like that rule myself. There's the rundown then. Just look at that weight. It's incredible, isn't it? They're big fellas. So there it is then, a little flashy start. Mike Dokes, 16 stone 3.5. And Tex Cobb, 16 stone 10 1/4. And they won't have to go looking for each other after having 10 rounds in this town here. And that really was a tough battle. Mike Dokes lost the championship to the South African Heri Kutsia. And says that this stage, at least he's trying to convince us, well, I've got my head together for this one. He's been living in the fast lane for a few years, Mike Dokes. And I think the blow to his pride, walks around in long fur coats and big hats. And you know what they say, if you can't fight, wear a big hat. But in his case, he can. But Tex Cobb, one of the great characters of boxing, he said, I've even had to give up drinking to get in shape for this fight. And when they said, when are you going to restart? He said, probably after the first round, maybe the second. Incredible the way Cobb has been able to come back after taking a fearful beating from Larry Holmes for 15 rounds in Houston, Texas. And he lost his last fight. Not the greatest of heavyweight punchers, Cobb. But when it comes to wars of attrition, he doesn't lose too many. Asked him if he likes being in the acting game. He said no. He was a fellow that fought John Voight in the film The Champ. But off stage, he really is one of the most colourful characters I've ever known in the game. So we'll see, as Stokes says, if he's got his mind on the business. Good punch picker. Cobb wouldn't pretend to have too strong a defence, so he shouldn't have too much trouble catching up with him. Although Cobb still wears his cowboy hat, he says, I wear the black one not because I'm a bad dude, but I can't keep the white ones clean. He actually comes out of Philadelphia at the moment, and that really is a tough fight city.
Break. Step back, step back.
Well, he's not messing about with them, the referee Steele, is he? No holding. Break the moment he sees them get together. He's going to encourage a hard fight. I don't think he'll have to push these guys too hard. Made hard work of a recent fight, Mike Dokes, against Mike Jameson, whom Frank Bruno had knocked over. So they got off as a good opening round.
Get the right hand up. Please get your hands up and listen to me. Jab him 3 and 4 times. Step. Step on each one. Throw a right hand to the body and a left jab back. 3 jabs right here. Step on each one. Step. Keep that right hand up.
Well, I think it's a bit late to give dear old Tex boxing lessons. Joe Derrick there in the corner. It looks as though he's just stepped out of a Hollywood film.
But body. Throw the right hand to the chest. And jab him right back.
Second round then, and it's for the Continental of Americas Championship, which means that the winner is guaranteed always to get in the world's top 10 by the World Boxing Council. Oof, right hand there of Dokes. Scheduled for 12 rounds, but for these kind of fighters, very unlikely. to go that distance. Last fight was in November with Cobb when he lost to James Douglas in this ring on the Bone Crusher Smith Larry Holmes card. And to be honest, I thought he might just have won that fight, but anyway, it was a shame really because it slipped him out of the top 10. Doubles up the punches well there. Watch that with Mike Dokes. He drops the left hook and then switches it to the head. There it is. That's the single punch there. But old Tex will keep putting on, I tell you. He said, I'd fight a bear. Just put a pair of trunks on him and let us get on, he says. I'd fight anybody. He says, I'll do anything but go to work. Well, I would have thought this was about the hardest work he could have.
Let him go, break.
Midway through the second. Cobb likes to get fights finished a bit early because he's not the greatest of stamina fighters. On the other hand, he had a 15-round draw with Mike Weaver, and nobody's really stronger than him, and he held one of the heavyweight records by stopping Mike Weaver in the first fight in 63 seconds in Las Vegas. Very controversial stoppage. But with the way he leads life in the fast lane, there's a lot of people in the fight game who think he may not be a good stayer, but we'll find out because Cobb stays all night. They're just not even trying to get out the way of punches, and particularly Cobb.
Don't hold him, break. Step back.
Fights with his face a bit, but as he says, when he fought Larry Holmes, you'll get tired of hitting me sometime, he said to Larry. Let's fight again. He's boxing well in this round, Cobb. Didn't really realise he had that in him. He's usually just a brawler, but there's one or two decent punches going in there. Replay then. There's the right hand coming in from Dokes, and they just missed a head clash there. That was lucky. That could have caused some damage.
Put your elbows in and work your body. Keep your hands up.
You feel good?
Hands up.
You feel good? Fight your ass off.
Think quick.
So there's the face of a real warrior, that one.
He's gonna do it.
He's having a call for his gum shield, too. Third round. And I doubt whether Tex Cobb could take in too much of that advice. With him, it's a stand and trade game. Let's get it on. Let's punch hard. Close in. Dokes, definitely a better punch picker. There you can see it again. Smarter puncher. Well, he was world champion.
Keep him up, Dokes. Keep him up. You hold it. Don't hold it. Break. Step back. Keep him up.
Referee just reminding Dokes to try and get in the target area all the time. But they don't bother too much about the niceties in the American heavyweight scene.
Come on, punch and get out.
I think if there are any tactics coming from Cobb, it would be that he's got to press this fellow Dokes now and try and tire him a little bit. That's the game. You force him back. He doesn't like that. He likes to go his own pace. But he's got a better variety of punches, Dokes. Just as well that uppercut didn't connect there. It might have parted Cobb's head from his shoulders.
Let him go.
Notice there, he waits for Cobb to come in, Dokes, and then he lets the left hook go.
Come on, you hold him. Great. Step back.
Come on.
The I'm wondering whether Dokes is trying to pace himself for a long-distance fight. Very few people can stop Tex Cobb. Might stop him in his tracks for a while, but he comes back at you. But for how long? Ex-footballer, defensive guard on the American game. He's picking them off well this round, though, Dokes. Look at that. I tell you, they don't lark about at 16 stone 3.5 and 16 stone 10. 8-ounce gloves. Getting marked up, showing a few signs of battle already, Randy Cobb.
All right, break. Keep him in front. Come on, punch and get out.
There's the professional referee there. Punch and get out, he's saying. It's their job to help make a good fight as well. The boxer went down 3 times in 1 round. Automatically gets stopped. That's a Nevada state rule.
Break.
So he knows that he beat Cobb on points back in 81 in Las Vegas. There, this fellow. Maybe that's what he's trying to do again. Let's have a look at some replay then. That was a good right hand coming in there from Cobb.
Come on, go.
Coming out for round 4. Managing to keep it fairly clean, but they're getting in a bit rough at times as they fall in.
All right, hold it. Break it. Keep him in front, Tom. Keep him in front.
Just slight bruising around Cobb's right eye, but doesn't seem to be bothering him at all. He's used to that. Probably had worse bruises shaving. As he said, don't worry about me bleeding. Oh, I just caught there. There's a clash of heads there. And Cobb is saying what's happened and almost apologising. I thought that was definitely accidental. And Richard Steele is having to take Dokes over to see the doctor, and it looks a bad cut over the right eye. Now, this is going to be a strange decision coming up here. Will it be a technical decision?
I don't know how they'll score it, but the bout is off.
The bout is off, said the doctor, and I don't know how they'll score it. It doesn't look as though they're going to disqualify Cobb for that because the Dokes was injured. I'm sorry, he said. You know, it's this is one gladiator to another. That's the last thing Cobb does. He's not a head putter. And he says, you ain't getting disqualified. There's a lot of argument going on. If it's considered an accidental butt, they could declare it no contest, although I think the Nevada Commission rules, after so many rounds and probably the end of the 3rd, who's ever considered a head at the time. They collect the judges' cards, and they may well do that. But I would have thought a technical draw would have been a fair way out there. Now, let's have a look in replay how that happened. There it is. You see, they fell in. And I'm rather surprised that that damage was caused. And right away, Cobb was hanging on. And they're really staring at each other there. And particularly Cobb can see, obviously, the damage. And in comes a referee to say, that's it. So here's the verdict now. What is it?
The ruling of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. It concerns a technical decision. The ruling was that Michael Dokes was accidentally butt.
As I thought there, that
if the fight goes beyond the 3rd round, you go to the scorecards.
Yes, it's a point.
Whoever is leading on the scorecards at that time receives that decision. So the winner on a technical decision is Michael. Awesome. Shoot.
Well, there it is. Surprise and disappointment, of course, for Randy Cobb. He's obviously pleased he's not been disqualified. And there's a lot of booing going on, but at least it's a friendly finish between 2 good fighters. And Dokes wins an unusual one on points.
Yeah, finishing in good spirits. Dokes winning on a technical points decision really was a disappointing end to a very promising fight. But James Bone Crusher Smith against Tony Tubbs really did live up to expectations. We got that fight coming up.